and welcome back to some more Aviary Attorney, where last time we began the first case of the game, which was a cat with claws, and today we're going to be possibly finishing it. I don't imagine the first case will go on longer than one trial day, but who knows, I've been wrong about that before, so let's get things started by going to the Palace of Justice, which houses the High Court, a place reserved for only the most serious of crimes. Let's begin! Falcon and Sparrowson stand inside the marble portico of the Palace de Justice, awaiting the opening of the Tribunal de Grand Instance. Are you nervous, Falcon? Nope. Nope, we've got this case in the bag. Look at my feathers, see? Totally unruffled. Wow, well at least one of us is feeling confident. Monsieur Falcon, pity Sparrowson. Is there anything you need me to do? No, we've got a handle on things. Falcon was just telling me how confident he was feeling about the case. That's wonderful. I just know you two will pull through. Let's move it along, fellas. I'll be watching from inside. Do your best for me, Monsieur Falcon. We will. Are we ready? Yeah, we're ready. As ready as we're ever gonna be. Alright, settle down, everyone. Settle down. Is everyone here? J.J. Falcon present. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Rupert Rabington present. Ready as prosecution, Your Honor. Oh, darn it, that's not it. Oh, gosh, where are my notes? Ha! I knew it. Knew what? Rupert and I went to Paris Law School together. He was in all my classes. Oh, was he smart? No, he always scored the second worst marks in the class. I can only assume that he bumbled through the final exams on the luck of his two rabbit's feet. Unless he's improved considerably, you might already have this trial in the bag. That's good to know. But say, Sparrowson, if Rupert scored the second lowest marks in the class, then who scored the lowest? Oh, I choose to exercise my right to not self-incriminate. Here it is. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Hippity-hoppity. Are the jury all present? I'll present an accounting for you, Your Honor. Hey, Falcon, I thought there were only 6 members of the jury for cases like this. Why do I count 8? Oh, those two birds with the funny hats are yours, the associate judges. Everything seems to be in order, so let us begin. The court is now in session for the trial of Deme Cataline Demio. Prosecution, please call your first witness to the stand. Oh gosh, are we there already? Okay, I choose to call the officer in charge of the murder investigation, Inspector Valerity, to the witness stand. Inspector Valerity, please approach the stand and recite the oath. As you will, Your Honor. I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Yarn. Monsieur, no, Inspector, please state your name and occupation for the record. My name is Inspector Juste Volontaire, a name that I didn't even remotely pronounce correctly. I am a servant to the law, a scourge of the gutter rats that plague this city. I have enforced the law for over 20 years, and I shall continue until I bring the infamous Viridian killer to justice. My path begins 18 years ago. Let's stick to the questions, Inspector. Of course, Your Honor. Oh, great. I was hoping we could have one of those bumbling, cuddly officers, but instead we're stuck with lawful goody two-shoes. I bet this guy would turn in his own mother if he saw her littering. So, Inspector, is it true that you are the lead investigator on this case? That is correct. I was also among the first to arrive at the scene of the crime. And then perhaps you can walk us through what you witnessed upon your arrival? Absolutely. Just after 7:30, we were alerted and brought to the scene of the housemaid of Baron Royale. At the scene of the crime, we found Deme Cataline Demio. She was standing over the corpse of Monsieur Greenway with his blood on her paws. Well, that sounds like an open and shut case in my humble opinion. No more questions, Your Honor. Bloody paws? Nobody told me that detail. Keep it together, Falcon. You're about to be given the opportunity to cross-examine the witness. That's your opportunity to find flaws in the inspector's testimony. Of course, I know this. Because we are aware of the people that are playing this game, we need not go over the tutorial. You may begin your cross-examination, Monsieur Falcon. Cross-examine the witness to find flaws in his testimony. Select a key phrase that you find suspicious, and Falcon will press the witness for information. Well, there's only really one thing we need. Avoid pressing points details. Judge and jury don't like having their time wasted. Okay. That's actually nice, that you can just see the whole thing at once instead of having to scroll through it. That's a nice little detail for the game. Okay, well, there's really only one thing we need to ask about, which is this. The one thing that was surprising. Inspector, you say Deme Cataline had blood on her paws. Correct. Blood clung to her fur like guilt to a convict. Okay.
Do you know whose blood it was? Because that's kind of an important detail. Whose blood was it?
Ha! What a question. It was Monsieur Greenweed's, of course. How can you be sure? I object. This line of questioning is absurd.
Yeah, trying to find out who the blood that was on the current defendant belongs to. Ah, what a silly line of questioning.
There was only one murder victim that night, Falcon. The blood on Demi Cataline's paws could have only belonged to one person, Monsieur Greenweed.
So basically, you have no idea and you're just guessing.
Judge, Falcon's trying to delay the trial by asking pointless questions.
I'm afraid the prosecution may have a point, Monsieur Falcon. Do you have any reason to suspect that the blood belonged to someone other than Monsieur Greenway? Yes, actually we do. Where's my, which one? Okay, here it is. We have, this. Demi Catalina ate a bloody rare steak at the banquet, so if you're looking for a source of blood, there is also, okay, this is money, this is the person profile, and this is the core. Okay, yeah, I'm still getting used to the interface. So, okay, yes, I do. I do, Your Honor. Actually, I have more than suspicion. I have evidence that the blood on Demi Cataline's paws had nothing to do with the murder.
That's foolish time-wasting, Falcon. If the blood on Demi Cataline's paws didn't come from the victim, then where did the blood come from?
It came from this steak right here. A bloody rare steak. On the evening of the murder, Demi Cataline ate a bloody rare steak. Is this true, Monsieur Remington?
Well, in a manner of speaking, I suppose steak may have been on the menu.
Then, Inspector, would you acknowledge the possibility that the blood on the lady's paws did not belong to the victim, but to the steak?
Well... Wait, don't answer that, Inspector.
It is a possibility.
No!
Intriguing, pretty convincing. You gained a little favor with the jury. So, Inspector Valerti, is it possible that you arrested an innocent bystander simply for being a messy eater?
Now, hold on just 1 minute, Falcon. You are overlooking something quite crucial.
And what might that be?
Demi Cataline is an elegant, Borgias kitten. She was no doubt brought up with flawless etiquette and perfect table manners. At the banquet, she would have eaten the steak with a fork in her left hand and the knife in her right, like any proper civilized animal. How could she have possibly gotten blood on her paws with such good manners?
Oh, I have an idea. Maybe it has something to do with the missing silverware. That might have something to do with why that would have happened. Oh, that is a good question. Or at least it would be at any ordinary dinner banquet. But as it happens, something was missing from that particular banquet. Something that forced Demi Cataline to eat with her paws. That would be the silverware. Demi Cataline was forced to eat steak with her paws because the silverware at the household had been previously stolen.
Stolen? I don't recall any mention to the police. Well, then you're a shitty investigator and you need to be better at your job.
We weren't aware of anything missing from the Royal residence when we performed the initial investigation, then you just suck, don't you? But as it happened, Baron Royal approached us about this very subject last night.
Ah!
Innocent, perhaps. What a twist. You gained a little favor with the jury. What is the meaning of all this? Bloody steak? Misplaced silverware? Inspector, was your investigation so lax that you overlooked these basic facts in your initial report?
Lax? My investigation? I assure you, I'm the most thorough investigative officer on the force.
And yet here we stand uncovering two crucial pieces of information that you failed miserably to account for. It is amazing that the Parisian police managed to solve any crimes at all. Oh dear. Be on your way, Inspector. Perhaps do a little inspecting for your next case.
Fine. So be it, messieurs. Until next time.
Prosecutor, I trust your next witness is ready.
Yes, of course, Your Honor. I call upon, let's see, Monsieur Robiccio Robino, the photographer who attended the banquet on the night of the murder.
Monsieur Robiccio Robino, please approach the stand and recite the oath.
How does it go? I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. It's a little cliché, to be perfectly honest with you. Could the witness please introduce himself for the court record? As if anybody in this courtroom does not immediately recognize me. I am the great Monsieur Robiccio Robino, cutting-edge photographer and visionary. I don't just take people's pictures, I capture their very essence. You may have seen my works in hip magazines, La Manche or Sechot. I can send you tweets if I can send you tweets if you like. That's funny, cause they're birds!
What on earth is a tweet?
Bird-to-bird communication. Come on, Falcon, it's the 19th century. Get with the times already. Yes, your works are very impressive, Monsieur Robinho, but let's get down to business. Could you tell us your, activities were on the night of the murder?
Very well. I was hired by Baron Royal to capture the evening's events. I arrived at 7 in the evening, pointed my camera, and captured the beauty of the banquet and one fantastic photograph.
Then I billed Baron Royale and left. Like a true artist. And with regards to the photograph itself, who did you photograph? I thought you might ask. I bought a copy so that you could all see for yourselves. Oh, so I guess I guess we didn't really need to break into his studio yesterday, did we? Oops. Oh well. Well. Oh, very good. Let's take a closer look. That's not the same. Hold on, no, okay, so never mind, it's a great thing we took the picture. It's an absolutely great thing we broke in to install that picture yesterday, because that's not the same picture. That's not even okay, hold on, wait a minute, because the picture we saw shows, the Cataline there, in the middle, but this one shows, that's not, okay, so, oh, the clock hands are there. I didn't even see that, the clock hands are there, but the clock hands aren't here, or at least I don't think they are. They're not there on this one, right? I'm pretty damn sure the clock hands weren't here in this one. Can I really not examine this again? I'm clicking on it, but I can't seem to actually look at it further. Okay, I'm pretty damn sure the clock hands weren't there in that one. Which, oh, no, okay, now we're getting somewhere. No clock hands and the defendant in this one. Clock hands specifically, okay, that's at 7:30. Wasn't 7:30 the time of the murder? I don't have an answer to your point. I think that was the time of the murder. So we have clock hands at specifically the time of the murder in this photograph, and then no clock hands and the defendant in this photograph. Huh. How wonderfully interesting. In the middle, we see Baron Royale, the lion who hosted the event. On the left, we see Signor Porter Dumio, the father of the defendant, Demi Cataline. And finally, we see the housemaid, who I suspect may have stuck into the picture uninvited. As you can see, two people are clearly absent from the photograph. The first is the victim, Monsieur Greenway. The second is the defendant, Demi Cataline Dumio. Quite suspicious, wouldn't you agree? Just a moment, Monsieur Remington. This proves nothing. So the defendant and the victim were not photographed with the others. That doesn't mean they were in the garden together at that point. Hold your horses, Falcon. I'm not done yet. The prosecution may continue. Behind the photograph subjects, we see a wall. Oh, don't even try. Don't you even try the wall clock excuse. Now, why is that time significant? Well, as Inspector Volarity told us earlier, that was the exact time the murder took place. And guess what? That means approximately nothing. Do you see, Falcon? Every suspect has an alibi at the time of the murder, save for Dame Cataline herself. Hey, Falcon, the photograph doesn't seem right. It looks different from the one we borrowed from Rubinio's studio. I see it too. Our photograph shows Colleen Duhal, Dame Cataline, and Signor Porter. And no clock hands, but Monsieur Rubinio's photograph shows Baron Royale where Dame Cataline should be standing. If we assume that only one photograph was taken, then this demonstrates that one of the photographs must have been edited in some way. You should just slam that evidence down. Be like, BAM! Inconsistency! This whole courtroom is out of order. Case closed. I can't do that. Well, I suppose you could be a little more delicate with your words. No, I mean I can't do that because the evidence was illegally obtained. If I were to present it, Monsieur Rubinio would ask how we acquired it and the whole trial could derail. In a worst case scenario, I could lose my legal license and we would be arrested for theft. Oh, well we don't want that. No, we don't. I should tread lightly. Your Honor, I would like to cross-examine the witness. Okay, well, we may not be able to point out the inconsistency between who's in the photo, but what we can point out is the inconsistency between the fact that in our photo, or currently at the house, the clock hands have been removed, but in that photograph, the clock hands are there. It's a waste of time if you ask me. Photographs are rock-solid evidence. Alright. We need to talk about this photograph. Let's take a closer look at this photograph. I see a mistake in the photograph. Why is it in black and white? Just to clarify, Monsieur Rubinio, photographs are a direct reflection of reality, are they not? That is correct. This photographic process leaves no room for bias or inaccuracies. This is most curious, because I see a mistake. A mistake? Impossible! I just told you, Monsieur. The camera is a perfect, unbiased device. The photographs it produces are flawless. Falcon, I'm not seeing any mistakes. Well, that's a failing on your part, not mine. Perhaps you could be more specific. Certainly. Click on the area of the photograph you believe contains a mistake. That'd be this clock. The clock in this photograph. There is something not right about it. Well, isn't that convenient? The defendant sees something wrong with the key piece of evidence implicates his client. Don't give me that cocky tone, Monsieur Remington. I have evidence that there's something wrong with the clock in that picture, and that'd be the missing clock hands. The photograph clearly shows the clock's hands pointing at 7 and 6. That might be self-evident. Which is most curious, because the clock in the lounge of Chateau Cranier has no hands. It has no hands? The clock is merely a decorative piece, a talking item. Feel free to ask Baron Royale or his housemaid if you have doubts. Monsieur Rubinio, how do you explain this discrepancy? Because I think we can describe it as a tool that's being used to try to frame someone. I don't know. There must be some sort of mistake, and my camera is flawless.
There is no mistake, monsieur. Your photograph depicts something that does not exist in the real world.
Maybe there was an error in the printing process.
An error precisely where the clock's hand should be? Please, monsieur, don't patronize us. Allow me to offer a more plausible explanation. You, Monsieur Robinho, edited this photograph.
Edited?
I'm no expert, but I suspect that you used paint or ink to carefully put hands upon the clock. It would have been a simple task considering the clock face was bare. One could even speculate that you specifically chose to include a handless clock in a photograph just to simplify the editing process.
Falcon, your reasoning is absurd. Why would the witness do such a thing?
Gee, I don't know, Rabington. What benefit would possibly come of placing this, of creating of artificially manufacturing a photograph that places that removes the defendant from a place that would secure her alibi and then make it look like it was taken at the exact time of the crime? Is it not obvious? By showing the photograph to have taken at precisely 7:30, it clears all the photograph subjects of suspicion. In other words, Monsieur Robinho created a perfect alibi. Of course, this raises further questions. Who is the witness protecting? And why? Was Monsieur Robinho coerced? Bribed? Threatened? Enough silence! Let's hear some answers. Monsieur Robinho.
Fine, you got me. I'm guilty. I did it all.
You did it? You're confessing to the murder of Monsieur Greenway?
What? No. I have no idea who killed the frog. I'm just admitting that I'm guilty of producing fraudulent photographs. I was ordered to make changes to the printed photographs. And yes, that included adding hands to the clock.
You were ordered? By whom?
I dare not say.
Is it Royale? Is it by chance Royale? Monsieur Robinho, I strongly advise you to answer the defense's question. You have pledged to speak without fear, after all.
With respect, Judge, I fear his claws more than I fear the punishment of the justice system.
Well, I wonder who you could be referring to with that little statement.
His claws? Did you hear that, Falcon?
It is most unfortunate. Monsieur Robinho, we cannot and shall not torture names out of you. We don't live under the ancient regime, after all. But since you have admitted to falsifying evidence, then we cannot keep you on the stand as a witness. I don't know what I don't know what do you mean? That reaction has nothing to do with anything. I don't know what you're referring to. Take your leave. You shall be charged with perjury in due course.
I can't protest. That's the least I deserve for my failure as an artist. Good day, messieurs.
Intriguing, pretty convincing. Gained a little favor with the jury.
So, the clock stands are painted on. So what? It doesn't matter.
Oh my Jesus Christ.
The photograph still depicts Demi Catalina as absent close to the time of the murder. That's significant.
Don't be dense, Monsieur Abington. If the photograph is not completely genuine, then it cannot be considered reliable evidence.
Why not? It's still a portrayal of the night's events.
Okay, obviously we know more about what was altered in that photograph than he does, but still, the fact that even one thing was altered means that the entirety of the photograph needs to be called into suspicion. It can't be used as evidence. Because if we accept that one part of the picture was edited, then we must accept the possibility that other parts were too. It is possible that Demi Catalina was painted out. Even worse, it is possible that another person was painted in. We know that the witness was trying to cover for someone, so all possibilities must be accounted for.
So what are you saying, Falcon? That the housemaid paid off the photographer? Or was it Signor Portor Demure, perhaps?
I don't think so. The housemaid lacks a means or motive, and it wouldn't make sense for Signor Porto to implicate his own daughter.
Well, surely you're not suggesting that the honest and beloved Baron Royale deliberately tried to frame Demi Catalina, because that would be the most outlandish theory yet. The Baron is a pillar of our community. He would never do such a thing.
Monsieur Remington, I'm not here to throw accusations. That's the job of you, of a prosecutor. However, mayhaps I should offer my opinion.
Well, look who decided to show up. But Baron, it's not time for witness testimony yet.
So you would think, prosecutor, and yet I see my good reputation getting tarnished by your incompetence.
Incompetence?
Indeed. Let us proceed with witness questioning. Is that fine with you, Judge? Yes, I suppose that's fine. Very good. Then I trust the defense has no objections. Not yet. No objections here. Fantastic. Oh, but before I forget, I pledge to speak without fear and prejudice, etc., etc. Now, prosecutor, ask me about what I witnessed over the course of the evening.
Oh, okay. Baron Royale, on the night of
the initial dinner went magnificently. When the photographer arrived, Monsieur Greenway left to visit the garden. Demi Catalina followed behind him moments later. Signor Porto, Monsieur Robinho, and myself were engaged in conversation, so we paid her no mind. After the photographer had left, my housemaid left to go find Monsieur Greenway and Demi Catalina. That'd be when I heard her cry for help.
Thank you, Baron. I think we all know the story from there.
I would like to cross-examine the witness. Do you doubt my integrity? I'm just here to uncover the truth, Bevan. Very well then, hit me with your best shot. Then let's establish with absolute certainty that I, Bevan Royale, am an honest man. The defense may proceed with the cross-examination. Okay, select a statement to question. Didn't necessarily have arrived. Let's visit the garden. Well, we know that since we found his cigar in the in the fountain in the garden, I'm gonna see if we can get him to admit that he was there. Bevan, we saw the murder scene, your garden, for ourselves. When was the last time you visited it? As it happens, I have quite serious allergies. I haven't been in my own garden for years. Oh, years, you say? Indeed. Well, that's not right. Bevan, I do not wish to call you a liar, but that claim does not hold up to scrutiny. Oh, and why is that? Because we have hard evidence that you have visited the garden recently. Balderdash, my word is gold. Show the court this so-called hard evidence that I've been in my garden. It'd be this cigar. This was found in your garden. To be specific, it was found inside the fountain basin, right beside where the murder occurred.
Cigar butt? That can belong to anybody.
Prosecutor, please shut your mouth. I can speak for myself.
Okay, sorry, Baron.
That is indeed the remnants of one of my cigars, but I must apologize, Monsieur Falcon, for I misunderstood your initial question. You see, prior to the banquet, I hadn't visited my own garden in years. Oh, are we going to try to change our tune now suddenly? But naturally, after hearing the housemaid's cry for help on the evening of the murder, I rushed outside. I was shocked and disgusted by what I saw. That must have been when I dropped my half-smoked cigar into the fountain basin.
You see, Falcon? That's a perfectly reasonable explanation.
I would find that believable if the cigar were casually discarded. But as it happens, that cigar butt was found in the fountain's upper basin, a location that could only be accessed with great inconvenience.
And a little paddling.
The cigar butt was not dropped. It was deliberately hidden. There are any number of possible explanations. Are there? Because I can only think of one. That is that you, Baron Royale, deliberately hid your cigar butt to disguise your own illicit activities. Did I now? And what illicit activities would those be? You want me to spell it out? Fine. Let's put everything on the table. You, Baron Royale, murdered Monsieur Grenouille. That is what you were trying to keep hidden. Directly accusing me of murder? How shamelessly brazen.
That is a ludicrous accusation, Falcon. The Baron is an upstanding citizen of the highest order. Your allegation is baseless. You have no evidence. No, it means motive or opportunity.
No evidence? Think harder, Monsieur Remington. Every piece of evidence points to Baron Royale as the prime suspect. You want the means? The Baron certainly had the means. His lion's claws are sharp as a surgeon's blade. Cutting a frog belly would be trivial to him. Even Monsieur Robinho confessed just moments ago that he feared his claws. Ridiculous. I would never threaten a man with violence. You want a motive? The Baron had at least 10,000 francs worth of motive. By removing a business partner, the Baron's share of his railway company increased from 1/3 to 1/2. This is preposterous. And finally, the Baron had an opportunity. No, he crafted the perfect opportunity. He arranged a small banquet with a very select number of guests. He was aware of the missing silverware, and yet he served steak, a food item that necessitates good cutlery. Why? To bloody the hands of his guests, of course. Then he hired an easily influenced photographer and staged a very specific picture in order to build a perfect alibi for himself. Photographing the guests in front of a handless clock to make for easy editing is quite an ingenious plan, it must be said. Prosecutor, are you just going to let this slanderous yarn go uncontested? Say something. Object. Oh, you're pitifully useless. After executing the murder, the Baron found himself still holding a single piece of incriminatory evidence, his finished cigar. He knew that leaving it at the crime scene would raise suspicion, but he didn't have time to properly dispose of it. So in desperation, he threw it into his fountain out of the sight of his guests and any snooping police. I imagine the Baron was hoping to implicate Signor Porteur Demure, since that would ensure total control over his railway company. Alas, Demicatoli was the first to happen upon the crime scene, so the Baron improvised. This is an outrage. Judge, I demand you that you disbar this ranting lunatic. No! There's only one outrage here. That is, that a man like yourself is able to abuse his wealth and status to frame an innocent girl for murder! You're a Borgias of the worst kind! How dare you! The utter nerve of a lying scumbag of a lawyer to accuse a philanthropist like myself of something so heinous. I'm nothing like the fat cat Borgies. I'm a respectable, hard-working capitalist. No, you're a ruthless man who would slaughter a dear friend just to reap a few francs. You incredulous whelp! I ought to gut you right here and now like a damned frog! Could someone please restrain the Baron?
I'm on it, Your Honor. Let's go, old man. To the concierge with ye.
Don't touch me, you filthy jackdaw. I can walk myself. This is quite a turn of events. Does the prosecution have anything to add?
Well, in a manner of speaking, to be honest, no.
I shall now confer with the members of the jury to come to a decision. I ask the animals of the court, please be patient at this time. Yeah, I wonder what that decision's gonna be.
Falcon, that was pretty incredible.
Thank you. I just hoped it was enough. Of course it wasn't enough.
What do you mean? You just proved Catalin's innocence. We'll get a not guilty verdict for sure.
Person, I think you misunderstood something important about the justice system.
What's that?
I haven't proved anything. As lawyers, we cannot deal in proofs. It's just not possible. All we can do is organize the evidence and convincingly explain what it suggests. I haven't proved Dame Catalin's innocence. All I have done is demonstrate that there is a significant possibility that she is not guilty.
I'm not sure I understand the difference.
We reached a decision. In light of the recent revelations, it is clear that an error of judgment was made with the initial arrest. On that note, unanimously find the defendant, Dame Catalin Demure, to be not guilty. And we win! Not that we ever thought we wouldn't. Although that was kind of shorter than I was expecting. I mean, Grant, I know it's the first case of the game. I guess I'm just more used to longer first cases.
Monsieur Falcon, Petit Sparrowson, you did it!
Yeah, I suppose we did, didn't we?
We should head back to the office so we can celebrate properly. You did it, Falcon!
I can't take all the credit. This is a group achievement.
I'm so proud of you both. I'll go get 1 bottle of wine and 3 for 3 of our least dirty glasses. You were amazing, Monsieur Falcon.
Oh, it was nothing.
I very much like the way you pinned the murder on the...
I didn't pin the murder on the Baron. That was just... That's just what happened. I didn't pin anything. Spelson and I just worked at unveiling to the truth, given the facts of the case.
Monsieur Falcon, there is no need to play coy. The case is over.
Play coy?
Don't tell me you're actually being sincere.
I'm completely lost.
Oh, wow. I thought the goody-goody thing was an act, but you actually don't know.
Catalin? What are you trying to say here?
Alright, I'll spell it out for you.
Oh dear. Oh, I don't like this. Oh, I don't like this at all.
I murdered Monsieur Grinway. I saw him in the garden, all drunk and vulnerable, and I seized my opportunity. It was nothing personal, just business. You understand?
Business?
To increase my papa's share in the train company, of course. My papa always said that the drunk old frog was the weakest link.
Your confession doesn't make any sense at all. I found Bernard Gill's cigar butt hidden in the garden.
Oh, I put that there. I expected the police to find it, but I suppose that was putting too much faith in the brains of Paris' finest. But Falcon proved that Monsieur Robino's photograph was edited. It was edited. I wasn't in the picture because I was busy paying a visit to Monsieur Grinway in the garden. My papa knew I needed an alibi, so he ordered Monsieur Robino to paint me over Baron Morgil to add hands to the clock. But that lazy artist didn't manage to finish altering either photograph by trial day. It's a good thing Monsieur Falcon was so imaginative, because that could have gone very badly. What's with the silence? You should both be proud. There aren't many lawyers in the whole of France who could have won a case like this, even for a bourgeois kitty like me.
We have a problem!
I think you should leave. Fine. So much for the celebrations. Here's the payment for your services, straight from my papa's pockets. Well, adieu, Monsieur Falcon. Adieu, Petit Sparrowson.
This is the first case of the game!
Falcon, what do we do now? Falcon? What? Oh, it just ends there? That's the first case! This case won! The hour one! That was less, that whole case lasted, I think, less than an hour. That's how you want to start?
Well, we have to keep playing now. Not that there was ever any doubt that we would keep playing, because this is awesome so far. It's like I said in the first episode, it's got everything that we know and love, but in its own unique way, which is awesome. But, okay. Talk about subverting your expectations, Jesus. Oh, my Jesus Christ. Okay, well, didn't see that coming at all. That completely took me by surprise, and we have problems that we need to rectify. Oh, my dear Lord. Alright, well, now can't wait to see what happens next. So that'll be it for now. Thanks for watching this insanity unfold. Stay tuned for next time, and hope to see you all soon for the next episode of Aviary Attorney. Goodbye.